September the 15th, 2024. Guys, on this Sunday morning, I want to share with you about 3 articles. Very important. Kind of shows where the world is right now. And you've heard it said that one sign of a bad ruler is that they would rather burn their nation to the ground or watch it burn to the nation instead of giving it up in their hope of rebuilding it from the ashes in their view or their vision of what it should be. We may be very close to that point right now. This article is talking about, this is Rob Bauer, he's an admiral from the Netherlands. NATO admiral backs Ukraine long-range missile strikes on Russia. This is a big deal in Russia. They've been talking about this, and we've been seeing from the beginning of the Ukrainian conflict that NATO and the West would be sending in different types of tanks and rockets and things like that. And a lot of them would get taken out either on the rail tracks themselves or in big buildings or in the battlefield, in warehouses, things like that. But a lot of it's been destroyed. But now they want to put into place these long-range, powerful missiles. Don't know if they will be nukes or not. They're not saying, but they want to put them in play, launch them out of Ukraine. Now, everyone in NATO is not happy about it. And I'm going to show you an article from the Polish group. Guys, they were also attending the meeting. And at first, they were behind Ukraine, if you remember. And they're a major ally because of where they're located. But now they're turning against NATO, and you'll see that. But one of the things that's mentioned, and I'll show you that in a different article, is that Russia and Putin are thinking that this is a rush by the West, NATO, all of the above, because of upcoming elections. Military law or martial law would be declared, and that would put a stop to them. And that's happening around the planet. You're seeing world leaders, especially like Macron and them, they'll get practically voted out, but somehow keep reappearing, I'm just saying. Well, anyway, they're in trouble. If you're not up for an election, if that's not coming up in your country and a certain group does not want to give up power, then if it's not that, then it's that the economy is completely collapsed. We're seeing that here. They're saying they're borrowing money on Social Security, all this things are supposed to be there because we paid in taxes for our whole life. And they've blown that. So if they do a reset through a global war, I guess they'd come up with a new currency and probably wouldn't be any presidents anymore. It'd be kings, everlasting kings. But the demons, they don't care. Again, you've got leaders of countries and you've got leaders of planets. Planetary leaders don't want to give this up because they know that our Lord Jesus Christ will be coming soon, because he said that if he did not intervene, no flesh would be saved. They know that, so they would, again, just as soon see the planet burn. And coming out of Prague, the head of NATO's military committee said Saturday that Ukraine has the solid legal and military right to strike deep inside Russia to gain combat advantage. Now, this is not Ukraine speaking, but in a sense, they're not really speaking anyway. It's kind of a proxy war. Let's just leave it like that. But it says it's reflecting the beliefs of a number of U.S. allies, even as the Biden administration balks at allowing Kiev to do so using American-made weapons. But I don't really see that coming from the U.S. at all. Blinken was over there, and Poland really fired off on him. You'll see that because they're saying we're tired, and we do not want to kill our people, spend our money for your wars. And they were talking to Blinken. Can you believe that? Now, going from Breitbart to Gateway Pundit, you can find all 3 of these articles on the front page of both of those outlets. Here it says World War III watch. Russia threatens to wipe Kiev off the map if Biden and NATO send Ukraine long-range missiles to fire deep inside Russia. And it really is a shame when they say if Biden does anything, because he's just taking his vacation, guys. He's out of it. But let me say this. You may not have noticed something very strange. Biden was somewhere, maybe New York, and he was going in to meet with some firefighters inside the fire station. And he doesn't have much to lose right now, and he ended up wearing, one of the firefighters gave him a Trump hat, and he put it on. And he was the most coherent that I've seen him in several years. You know, and we may have all been wrong about one thing. A lot of folks, including myself, probably thought that they were having to give him a lot of medication to prop him up to do the speeches and the interviews and things like that. It wasn't that many, but even at the rally with Trump and Biden, he was pretty much out of it. And again, we were thinking, well, he's on the edge, dementia setting in and whatever. We don't know what kind of medication they're giving him to keep him propped up, because he likes to sleep a lot when you get old. That's one of the things about it. And I wonder about how his wife was involved in this. But he, at the firehouse, let's go back to that. He was talking back and forth. He wasn't really slurring his words. He didn't appear to be on any kind of medicine. And was it just the opposite of what we were thinking? Is what I'm saying is, as people behind the scenes were doing the operations, they were keeping him, I guess, kind of like they're doing fentanyl in California and some of the other states. Just keep everybody so out of their mind they don't know what's going on. But again, he didn't have anything to lose, and he did not look like he was on anything. And just look it up. Biden wears Trump hat at a fireman's meeting. Check it out. It's been up 2 or 3 days. But again, it makes me think that maybe it was just the opposite. Keeping him dumbed down, shut up, while they did what they were doing. Look at it, and I'd like to hear if you agree with me or not about a different Biden. Now, I'm not saying that Biden's an angel. I'm just saying there's a great difference in what we saw. It says Vladimir Putin pointed out that it will take Western intelligence to operate these weapons. The U.S. will not only be providing the long-range missiles to fire deep inside Russia, but Western intelligence will operate the weapons for Ukraine using Western satellite systems. Putin warned on Thursday that the NATO approval will change the essence of the conflict. Putin also warned that Kiev would be destroyed. Now, this article came out late yesterday afternoon, and it's a video. It says, watch, Blinken go home, get lost. This is the Polish group. It's member of parliament of the European Parliament. Poland's representatives there. We're talking about NATO. But they slammed Blinken after meeting with Poland's foreign minister, discussions of enhanced military aid to Ukraine. Again, driving the world to war. Now, this is the video from the Polish prime ministers after the discussions of enhanced military aid to Ukraine again. They're not happy about it all, and they're saying, go home, get out now. We do not want any more of your wars. We don't want to kill our people. We don't want to spend all of our money on your wars. Very important. So come here and play it, guys. I'm going to put the links, Gateway Pundit and Breitbart. You can scroll through and look for these articles. Poland was one of the main allies when this started, and I think they've seen how NATO and the West has basically let everything in Ukraine get destroyed. They're back down into Kyiv almost as far as a major hub of power. Russia's taking out highways left and right, access to for resupplies, and NATO is throwing a bunch of drones in against Russia, kind of a tit-for-tat thing. But now Poland's waking up, and that's going to change this conflict if these members of Parliament have their way. But we're on the edge. So get right, make sure all your ducks are in the line, and make sure you have a bug-out situation prepped. And because when this happens, it's not going to be, I think, when Christ steps back onto the planet. I think this may go on for a little while. So you may need to be prepared. if military law comes into effect, and the way it's happening now, looking at the numbers on the polls, I think they're becoming more and more afraid of all states. Did you hear what Pennsylvania did? I think it was Friday. Of all the states, battleground states, of all of the problems that have came from there, their Supreme Court voted no mail-in ballots. And wasn't it that, where did that truckload of ballots come from and go in 2020? Remember that U.S. mail truck, big one? I'm sure you do. Anyway, of all states, now I'm sure that, of course, NAACP and all those are going to fight that. But a lower court had said yes, they can use them, but they took it to the high court of Pennsylvania, no mail-in ballots. I'm sure that there will be a few examples maybe for military and possibly other things, but they shut it down. What does that do? It puts another weight on the scale of one side having to do something, even burn the nation down, instead of letting go of it. Don't think that these demons care. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.